get a contrast. You gotta go low and I go high.
Oh. Well, all right then.
Hi guys. How's it going?
Is there any more people, or is this, or?
I think it's still.
Oh, more people are coming in. Okay.
They're coming in.
We came to learn your secrets.
We shall tell them.
Your secrets.
Okay, there's a closing, and so thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
All right, good day, everyone. We're out of here. Okay. We are ready to start.
Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to Voice Acting Industry and How to Get In. Yay! Now, before we get the ball officially rolling, I just want to clarify a few things. This is a panel intended for those that have a little bit of voiceover experience, or you have attended a couple of the workshops, voiceover panels in the past. If this is your first voice acting panel, or you're here just for fun, then great, you get to learn some really nifty stuff. And I would like to mention that this is meant to be a little more of a localized panel for novice talents in the Chicagoland area, but some of the things you're going to learn can be applied to other places in the US. There will be time for a Q&A towards the end of the panel, so to ensure that we can get to as many questions as time will allow, please keep your fascinating life stories to a minimum, please. Oh, and by the way, we've got a hashtag up here for Twitter that says Midwest VA. So you can tell us how you like our panel via Twitter. This will be a great way for you guys to tell us what we're doing right, what you would like us to do in the future for future panels, because this is our second time doing this. And
the first time we did this was at ASEN. If any of you went to ASEN this year. How many of you did go to ASEN this year?
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. All right then.
Awesome. We got 5 objectives that we want you, the audience, to know by the end of this panel. Is 1, the names of legitimate talent agencies and studios and companies you can intern for or submit your demos to. Do's and don'ts when coming to putting your demo together, business cards, online presence, etc. Our recommendations on microphones, audio software, maybe classes, and some books on the VO industry. And to reconfirm reliable online sources for obtaining work and basic etiquette when interacting with clients.
Pretty much, this is a panel where, like, you have the talent. Now we're going to show you how to actually make money. And who here likes money?
Woo!
Yeah.
It helps.
It helps. Most of us are, like, poor college students.
Speaking of which, maybe you want to know what makes us so credible and, like, who we are. So, to introduce myself, my name is Sheila M. Gagne, and I am a voice actress. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I've graduated from Second City in improv. I'm currently taking classes at I.O. or Improv Olympic, and I just recently graduated from Columbia College, Chicago. Some of the voice roles you might have heard me in is I do a 3D animation main protagonist that's from Singapore called 01. I voice Spike in the popular My Little Portal web series. Any bronies in the house? Woo! Yeah, my bronies. Just a little bit more. I've got an upcoming role on Yezu Otaku's Fruits Basket radio drama on thatguywiththeglasses.com.
Who here knows that?
Yeah!
Yes!
This side does. And then I also was in a Pokemon short. I played Nurse Joy for JJK Movies. Yeah, that guy's really, really awesome. And then I got one more 3D animation from Singapore coming up called Normal. That one's going to be really awesome, so check that out when information comes. So that's me. Evan?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
As she said, my name is Evan Bremer. I, too, am a voice actor. Some of the roles I've been in, I recently brought attention to the Fruits Basket radio drama by Yezu Otaku and That Guy with the Glasses. I am the voice of Yuki Soma. Some other things I'm part of a radio drama adaptation of a Batman AU story called Gotham High. I play Jack Napier, aka the Joker. I love doing that. I'm currently voicing in a couple upcoming downloadable video game titles. One is called Conspirocracy, which is it's a point-and-click adventure. Wow, this is very.
I know we need to bring like pop filters for this.
Yeah, we need pop filters. Conspirocracy. It's a point-and-click adventure, comedic view on government. I play the main villain. I also star in a upcoming JRPG title called Esperwing Chronicle 2, where I also play the villain. I also play a couple protagonists in 2 upcoming animations on Newgrounds. One is called Spheres of Maria, and the other is called The Fall of Arzo. And then just yesterday, I was told that I have been officially cast in a fan dub of Toradora. I will be voicing Kitamura. I just found this out yesterday. I'm still geeking out about it. Thank you.
And that's us.
So yeah, that's us. So now, let's actually get started.
Get some information.
Yes. So pretty much as Sheila's... yes, I lost my voice. This is what we get for having a panel on the last day of a con when all of our screening happens on Friday and Saturday. But I don't lose my voice. It just gets low and sexy.
He's got Steve Bloomitis.
Oh, I wish that was real. Anywho, so pretty much as Sheila already pointed out, we're going to be hitting all the main objectives on how to actually get noticed in the industry, how to actually connect and network with people, both online and offline, and also a bunch of various do's and don'ts of voice acting etiquette, whether you're doing your own home recording or if you're actually doing it in a studio. So
Isn't Prezi awesome? This thing's like taking you on a trip.
Yeah, screw PowerPoint. So
demo making. Is anyone familiar with what a demo is? Okay, so
1, 2, 3, 4.
What a demo
5.
is a quick example of your best work. Every voice actor needs one because this is what you send to anyone that you want to get a job with. This is kind of a visual business card to agents, to any kind of client that you need. And in Chicago, we're a fantastic town. We have so much voiceover opportunity. So whenever I see these voice acting panels where they always skip over Chicago, the only reason is we've got everything but animation. We are getting some more video games. Has anyone played Injustice?
Yeah.
Yeah, Injustice. Our voiceover mentor, Deb Doutzer's the narrator. She's from Chicago.
She's that elderly lady voice who voices in the endings whenever you go through a certain character's campaign.
Yes, so there are opportunities, and this is why we are doing this panel, is we feel like there's not enough information for us. And in Chicago, while we love animation and there are a few opportunities, commercial demos are the most important. If you're going to start, the commercial demo is the first one you do.
And pretty much a commercial demo, it's pretty much exactly what it says on the tin. The way a demo is structured is that, technically wise, it's 10 voices. The entire thing's like only a minute long.
You cannot go over a minute and 15 tops. They're going to just throw out your demo.
Because most likely they're just going to listen to the first 30 seconds.
You get maybe the first 15. I see a lot of demos online where they're going for like 3 minutes. Do the very best voices you can do within that minute.
This isn't about all your work. This is about your best work. Show them that you really got the chops.
And if you don't believe me, I interned at Grossman and Jack Talent Agency. We're going to mention those names a little bit later. And I asked them a couple interview questions for our last panel, and she agreed with me and says, yes, brevity is the most important thing. Quick, simple, you only get a little bit of time.
Now, the way a demo is structured is, like I said, it's a little 1 minute long audio of your best work. Traditionally, it would be like your top 10 voices, your best put in the front, and like your kind of weaker ones put in the back. Always have your best in the front. And each little snippet is only like a few seconds long. And a commercial demo is, well, like it says, it's your little mock work about how you would sound when doing commercials, like car commercials, trailers for fake movies.
Make sure you got a McDonald's spot in there. McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, because Chicago's really big on McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts. You gotta add a little food in there. And think about it like this. I know everyone's like, animation, animation, animation. We all love animation in video games. But commercials can be a lot of fun too. It's you getting to exercise your natural voice. The most money you're gonna make is on the voice you're using right now. That's your money maker. You need to learn how to use that. So doing a million different character voices is great, but that one voice is what's going to book you the spot. And if anyone is familiar with the term booking, it's just like, you got the gig. You're going to get paid. You're going to go do the spot. And it's going to be on radio. It's going to be on television. And there's some differences between that. With a radio spot, it's going to be a little more out there. It's going to be a little more energetic, a lot more over-exaggerated.
You can't see a radio spot, so you have to sound much more awesome to kind of pick up the slack.
And with TV, it's going to be a little bit more subtle. And we recently just updated our demos, and that was a lot of fun. And if you're looking to if you feel like you're ready at this point and you want to maybe start putting something together, but you're not sure how to do it, and maybe you're not as comfortable with audio, there are great radio majors at Columbia College Chicago, maybe even DePaul, that you can go and talk to, and they have demo production experience. Oh,
Excuse me.
bless you. No,
I thought someone was sawing wood.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's one of my best spots. Really.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thousands of dollars. There you go.
Home Depot.
So yeah, with commercial demos, it's mostly about attitude. You're going to be talking in your normal voice 9 times out of 10, but it's all about the personality you can portray. I mean, you're not going to be voicing like a tiny, meek little mouse for like the next Halo or Gears of War game.
It might be for a cheese commercial.
Might be for a cheese commercial or Chuck E. Cheese's, which I'm surprised still exists.
You can do like a little creativity in your commercial demos for maybe, say, when you're doing like a food spot, or maybe like you're playing a cat for like a cat food commercial.
Oh
Those
god,
are
here we
always a
go,
lot of
cats.
fun. Yeah. It's fun.
Now that's commercial demos. Animation demos are quite different. Like I said before, commercial demos are all about attitude, but it's pretty much the same voice all the way through. Animation demos are completely different in their own snippets. You're trying to portray a completely original, fleshed out character in each little snippet.
Yes.
And one great training to find voices is through what I personally recommend for good training to find new character voices that you can do is try to imitate voices that you just hear in cartoons, video games, radios. Imitations are never going to get you work. People will inherently sense if you're plagiarizing someone, and they will not like you. But if you use imitation as a way of training your voice to help find a way towards an actual original voice, that's good.
A good example, Johnny Bravo. I love Jeff Bennett. I would marry Jeff Bennett's voice if I could just materialize it.
Oh God,
read
here we go
stories to me,
again.
and here we go again. Oh, Jeff Bennett, talk to me like Brooklyn, please. But think about it like this. When he went to audition for Johnny Bravo, they were saying, we need someone kind of like Elvis. We want a little Elvis. And he does sound a little like Elvis, right? But what did he do that made it a little different? He went the hoo-ha-hoo. And that's what got him the spot. That little niche that made it his own voice. That's a very good example. I love it.
Yes, we all know you love it. Oh, jeez.
There's also a couple other kinds of demos. Narrations, really good. Audiobooks are becoming a really big thing right now. So narration is something to definitely think about. There are some really great classes at the Acting Studio Chicago, and those are very different. They still go on for a minute, but picking out a good story and finding the right scripts for it. Oh, and speaking of scripts, most people write their own animation demos. Most of mine, I've only taken a couple from very obscure places and then kind of made them my own. But if you're someone like, I'm not really comfortable writing my own stuff, I want something that feels real. Again, colleges are a fantastic resource. If you've got a buddy going to college right now, maybe someone that's a radio major, maybe talk to them. Yeah, or edgestudio.com, they have a good list of scripts. Some people pick them out of newspapers. You don't know what that is. It's like words printed on paper. They're kind of like books. I barely remember them.
Words? What are these words you speak of? So a good example when trying to find good material for a commercial demo, with commercial demos, you can get away with taking scripts from commercials that were actually published in our reality. But it's actually much preferable if you're using scripts from commercials that have already past aired and are no longer airing.
Yes.
For example, when I was training myself to work on my demos, I used a script for who here knows Metroid Prime? Yeah. For training, I did the commercial for Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. It's not published or anything, but it was good training because commercials for that game no longer exist because it's been out now. It's been out for more than a decade.
Yeah, do not ever do a demo with a commercial that's currently airing. Let's say you send it to an agency. That happens to be the agency where that particular talent among their roster booked it. That's going to make them a little upset, and it makes you kind of look like a wannabe. So
not a good thing to do.
Look for stuff that's older. Again, radio departments and colleges have a lot of resources. So
now let's say that you got your voices organized. How are you actually gonna put them in physical form? Well, there's 2 ways you can do that. A, you get your own recording equipment and software and you design the demo yourself. We would not exactly recommend that unless you are like Super Saiyan levels of confidence in your talent of audio editing and recording. Otherwise, it is much more... Okay, this mic is... There we go. Unless it is much more preferable to just shell out the money, go to an actual professional recording studio, and have them record it for you. Because those people, that's their career. That's their life. They've been training through college, most likely, to do this kind of stuff. It is their job to make you sound sexy. If you can do that yourself, more power to you. But let the professionals handle it. I mean, not bashing your own talent, but it's just for that extra reassurance.
And if you're someone that has a tight budget like me, this is what I did. I've also interned at 2 audio recording studios. And when I was in the interview, I asked, maybe as a bartering of services, will you help me record my demo? Both of my first 2 demos were professionally produced by BAM Studios and ARU Chicago. Those prices go up to thousands of dollars. The cheapest one maybe you can get is like $500, but some go up to $5,000. It's expensive. And some people will shell out, maybe do something maybe for like $50, but if you're not certain that person knows what they're doing, it's a very risky investment. There are, again, college students. We got our recent demos done by David Petrowski. He's a good friend of ours who's so talented. Marketing thing we're talking about. And he does great work, and you can negotiate with people that are young but are very, very talented. It's worth the investment, and if you got type internships, and we'll talk more about where to intern a little later.
So yeah, that's how to make a demo. What's the next step? Well, first we gotta know, yeah, you can make a demo. Are you actually a good actor? Sheila?
Yeah. And every time someone comes up to me like, I want to get into voiceover, I want to test the waters, the very first thing I always say is take an improv class. Improv is the greatest advantage a voice actor can have, because you're going to get those scripts, if you were to book a spot, maybe 15 minutes before the recording session. And even with, if you're recording for a fan dub, or if you're doing something, just a small independent project, time is money to them. Even if you're doing pro bono, they need it quick. You need to know how to do things on the fly, commit to the choices, and feel confident in the choices that you're going to make. And I always say this is, even if you're a little nervous about testing the waters with voice, or you're not sure if this is something you really want to do, but you just really want to give it a try, improv is enriching. It is life enriching. You can put it on your resume for a part-time job.
Come on, who here loves Whose Line Is It Anyway?
And we're so happy it's coming back. It's coming back. Jeff Davis. Wayne Grady.
Colin Mockery.
Right now.
Anywho, tangent.
Improv is always great, and of course taking acting classes is very, very important. Internships have been the most important thing for me as a voice actor. I've gotten to meet so many different talents. It's how I got to meet some of my mentors who have given me great advice, and then I keep in contact with those internships. And they help me out in the future whenever I have a question, if ever I feel iffy about maybe someone approaching me saying, hey, what's the professional thing to do? How should I present myself? Does this email structure look correct to you when negotiating my rate? A lot of great ways to do that. And if you need some help finding those proper internships, there's a great website called the Chicago Creative Directory.
Memorize that name.
Yeah, it's www.creativedir.com. This place has the listings of all the legitimate agencies, from illustrations to talent agencies to casting studios.
Modeling as well. I mean, there's a lot of good cosplayers here who want to get into that.
Absolutely. And I learned that from Second City. An improviser that I met told me about it, and that's how I started all my internships. This is how you know these people are legit. Then you can go to their websites and see how their internship process works.
Then there's agencies. Talent agencies, they're basically the middleman that work between you and the client that needs let's say, the commercial made. The client goes to the agency saying, we want this kind of voice for this kind of script to showcase our new car. And then the agency will go to the voice actor saying, okay, we're looking for this kind of voice, for this kind of script. Voice actor does the line, sends it back to the agency. Agency sends it to the client. The client has to approve of it or not. If it is, money. If it's not, no money.
You know what's kind of great about Chicago's talent agencies is, one of my mentors kind of told me a sort of humorous joke, is the difference between LA, New York, and Chicago. When you're in New York, it's like, oh, come on, get in the studio, okay, now you gotta do this line, okay, ABC, okay, thank you, goodbye. Then you go to LA, and they're just welcome, like, oh, who are you? Okay, go wait over there. All right, you're up. And then Chicago, Hi, how you doing? Oh, do you need some water? We're gonna be just like about 5 minutes. We got like cucumbers in the water. Are you cold? We can give you like a sweater or something. Or like, okay, how's your day going? Like, they're the nicest people. Chicago is such a great place for voice acting. It's very supportive. Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah.
Woo! Chicago needs a little bit of love.
I know.
And we got great studios. Did you know that BAM Studios did the Pixar films where Joan Cusack, Jessie the Cowgirl, all her lines were recorded in Chicago? It's awesome. And a very fun fact, the design of BAM Studios, they have a giant glass between the talent and the audio equipment. Most places have like a little window, but this one's an entire glass. BAM is so great that Pixar is modeling their studios after BAM. Ain't that kind of cool? It's a beautiful studio, and how I got to intern for them was I took a voice acting class at the Acting Studio Chicago. I met my mentor there, and I kept in contact with him. A few months later, I was having trouble with money, and I wanted to get my demo started and asked for an internship. And then I got to intern for them, and I got to learn and meet all these nice, cool people. It's a great way to make some connections.
And then there's just basic networking, but I'll actually touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, now the technical stuff. Let me show you what I got here.
And there's shadow on the screen.
Oh, cool.
This here is a Blue Corp Yeti mic.
Pretty.
This I use this for all my recording, for all my recording gigs at home. This does everything you need to do. It is not only a mic, it has a built-in sound card where you can adjust volume, the amount of sound it will take in, and also which sides of the mic will actually be allowed to take in sound. So if you got someone being noisy on the other side of the wall, you can mute them. This baby, oh, I call it the Dalek.
My name is Blue. It's very unoriginal.
Yes. Yeah, a mic like this, I got this at Guitar Center. At the time, it was around $300. Of course, nowadays, if you were to go online and you were to look up this exact model, it's probably around $100.
I saw
maybe even less. And yet, this is a badass mic. This does everything you need it to do. You do not have to go and get those extremely ritzy radio mics that are like $5,000. You do not need them.
Not at this point.
Not at this point.
I've got a Blue Yeti Pro, so I've got the Pro version that's the next model to the Blue. So we're Blue people, and we're not trying to just say only Blue is awesome.
Okay.
There's a ton of different great mics, but I really feel that it's important that we're not going to tell you to get things that we aren't using. So a good thing to do in voiceover is always to give more than one option. But with this is just the one area where this is what we use. This is what we think is great. And if you think it's great too, then go check it out. At least you'll know that we're getting work, and we're getting work with this, and it's working for us. And we know that Yazu Takashi uses a Blue Snowball. A Blue Snowball is another brand of Blue Yeti, and that's always a great mic too. And that one's pretty cheap. What was that? I got that for that was Snowball's about like $70.
$70. That is a darn good deal.
And get a pop filter. I like. Do you hate the on these things all weekend long? It's so freaking annoying. I forgot. I wanted to bring my pop filter. Invest a little bit of money. It does wonders. You can't. Even if you're really good as an audio engineer, there's only so much you can do to save a read. Get everything you can. Get a porta-booth. Those things can be made really easy. There are tutorials online on how to make little porta-booths.
YouTube is a great place for instructions when you lost the instruction book.
Yeah, I learned a really great technique on how to put the pop filter like on the side of this mic, because before I've been doing it on the back and it's been causing scratches, and it was really cool to find out.
Now that's technically the hardware. What kind of software are we talking about here? Well, there's the best kind of software which can be easily found and absolutely free is called Audacity. Who here has heard of Audacity? Yeah! Audacity does everything you need it to do. It is 100% free. It's amazing.
Spike Spencer said he uses it. I mean, who attended his panel yesterday? Yeah, he's cool.
Shinji. So yeah, that Audacity is great. However, there's a couple other software out there. They're kind of pricey, but they are godly. And there's two main ones. The first one, Adobe Audition. That's the software I personally use. It does everything I need it to do, and I personally love it because I'm much more familiar with the Adobe style interface. It's the same between like Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects. It's the same setup.
And I use Pro Tools. Pro Tools is the industry standard. Both of my internships, Pro Tools. Not everyone likes Pro Tools, but it's the industry standard. And again, if you have a college friend, maybe someone in the radio department, they get discounts. Really
Discounts
cheap
are
discounts.
good.
Oh yes, we're gonna take questions at the end, so I promise we'll get to you.
Comment on an Adobe one, you can subscribe to it too. $20 a month.
Oh, I did not know about subscriptions. Yum indeed. And also, you get all this software, you also got to learn how to work it. As Sheila said, look up YouTube, friggin' Google instructions. It is not that hard. Learn how to work your equipment.
Read a book.
Read a book, people.
Or is anyone a college student here? Anyone in college?
Who here is still in college?
If you got an elective, go take a radio production class. That's what I did. I was a poetry major with a minor in writing for television, and I took radio classes.
And I was a major in video game design, but that never panned out because the industry is like Game of Thrones right now.
Well, at least you're alive.
Yes, I am alive.
You didn't get killed off.
Unlike THQ.
Right. Soon to be EA.
Ooh, but I still love THQ. I love the Darksiders series.
Oh,
And-
you were doing some like audio experimentation recently.
Oh yes,
right?
I was. One thing that I've always learned about being a voice actor is that it's always great to have your hand in many other talents. Some of the best talents to have as a voice actor is to also get some audio engineering experience. Now, like last week, I worked on a little experiment with Adobe Audition and a video editing program called Sony Vegas. Who here knows that? Woo! Quite a few people. That's very nice. And I decided to take a clip of anime and actually try to do my first foray into dubbing and sound editing. Who here knows Mega Man? Yay! Who here specifically knows Mega Man X? Yeah. Well, what I did is that I took a little... I'm going to try and set it up. What I did is... Could we also dim the lights? Is that possible?
Yes.
Someone dim the lights, if you can. Or just turn them off. We don't have to see each other. Well, the intro scene from Mega Man X. Hello, Catbug. You can have a bad day, and then just look at that desktop. You will no longer have a bad day.
Look at that little face.
So what I did is that I took a clip from Mega Man X4 specifically, my favorite game, also the very first PS1 game I ever played, and I decided to dub over the voices of. In this scene is the evil villain Sigma. And the general of the Repliforce army, his name is, well, General. I don't know why. And I dubbed over their voices, I replicated all the sound effects and all the background noises. Now, I don't do the voices perfectly, but that was not the intended purpose of this. It was all about recreating all of the sound. It's a sound engineering experience, so here it is.
They are far too eager to please the humans and continue to hunt down the Reploids. Do you believe they pose a significant threat?
Perhaps.
You already know the truth, General. Their sole mission has been to destroy any Reploids who fail to do as the humans order. It's in your best interest to stop them now, before they turn on you. You possess enough power to destroy them!
You are dismissed.
What?
I will not betray the humans. Remove yourself from my sight. My business with you has concluded.
Very well. But you will change your mind soon, I assure you.
Very nice.
Okay, let's bring the lights back up. There we go. Ow. So yeah, like I said, I don't do the voices perfectly, but that wasn't the purpose. I just wanted to learn about sound editing, and that when I edited that clip, I learned this is not unlike what dubbing groups like Funimation, Aniplex, and Gonzo do whenever they get the rights to anime and they get to dub them. What they do, they take the clip, they mute everything. and then you record the lines, trying to be able to match the lip movement, or lip flap as it's called. Of course, in this case it's easy because they don't have mouths. And then replicate all the sound editing. This one was very easy because lightning strikes. That was all the sound effects I needed, as well as his footsteps and the sound of his laser scythe. And this was my first foray into sound editing, and through this, I was able to actually get a better understanding of what sound engineers have to go through whenever voice actors are in the booth, and they have to endlessly record and re-record. Move this a little bit here, move this a little bit down here. Bottom line, if there's better understanding between the talent and the engineer, the results are much more promising.
They like a talent that knows the business, that understands the etiquette. Like, the number one that we probably all know is you don't touch the mic.
Do not touch the mic.
If you take one thing away from here that you haven't learned before, you never touch someone else's microphone. If you need it adjusted to your height level, you just ask the engineer politely, could I get it a little lower, a little higher? They'll be happy to help you.
It is their job. Even if you're a voice actor and you have a PhD in technical engineering in audio studios, and you are qualified with a pedigree on how to move mics,
awesome.
You still don't touch the mic. It is out of pure etiquette. Don't do it. Anywho. So yeah, that's learning the actual hardware and software. Okay, now what we have here... Internships! These are places where you can get a good education, and sometimes a paid education. Not only where you kind of do a little small job, like making copies or giving coffee, but you also get a very good learning experience. And this is something you could add to your resume. Thank you. I'm tired.
And if these are a list of CRC is a really great place. That's another audio recording studio. I did get to go visit there when I was taking a voiceover class. They do some great
take
work.
a picture of this list because this is the list.
Yeah, there's probably some more in the city, but these are some really great places. Talent Group Inc. is a non-union talent agency, and I remember someone was asking Spencer yesterday about union and non-union. This is a great non-union place. I've gotten to visit them. They're wonderful people. They got a great cornucopia of talent, and they do get work. And non-union is a great thing. It's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, especially with, there's a term called buyout. A buyout is a one-time forever, ever payment. And that's what a lot of non-union work is, and a lot of commissioning. We've been commissioned. I've gotten paid work before, and pretty much almost all of them have been buyouts. So, good word to know. There's also, Grossman Jack, Jellyvision Inc.
Who here knows You Don't Know Jack?
Yeah!
This is the company that makes those games.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
They also do a lot of interactive games, like stuff for insurance, and they love having a good sense of humor. They would be a great place to intern.
The Cookie, the narrator of the You Don't Know Jack games, he has such a big personality for a disembodied voice. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And there's casting agencies. O'Connor's a really great place. We've got friends from Columbia that have auditioned there. You get to see how the audition processes work. Sometimes at agencies, talents will still come in. It is good to have a home studio. And look, as a talent, it's not enough to be a good actor anymore, especially because people can do stuff from home. You know how to be an audio engineer. You gotta be a business person. You gotta know how to run yourself. You are a business. You are selling yourself. You are the product.
We'll get into the whole presenting yourself and networking in just a moment.
And you gotta know how to be your own agent. You gotta know how to, convince them when you send in auditions that you're the one they should pick. It takes a lot of work, but when you get to these internships, they're gonna show you how to do it, how to present yourself, and how to make some really good friends and connections. These
now,
are the places.
The first thing to present yourself is you got to show that you actually had work, like you actually have a reputation, and that's where this comes in. A resume.
A talent resume.
A talent resume. Much better than just a regular work resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day jobs.
Day jobs. Oh.
Retail.
Most actors have day jobs.
Retail girl. So yeah, this is basically what, this is just one kind of what a standard talent resume. There are many other different kinds of forms and formats on how this could look, but this is just like the one that we're used to.
Yeah, this is my actual talent resume that I use. This isn't the most recent update one. This one is a couple months old. but you can see that I start with animation at the top, and if you're also a multi-face actor, this is something I really should point out. I notice on a lot of amateur voiceovers websites, they put their picture next to their demos. No, 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 no. Big no-no.
I will touch on that in a bit.
Yeah, okay, cool, because that's a no-no.
Definitely a no-no.
I show my related experience. I show maybe the name of the project, my role. This model is off the talent resumes when I interned at Grossman and Jack. So this is a model I've seen other union and non-union talents use, so I kind of just sort of copied it. There are other forms people use, and a great way to see how other actors do it is you go on the talent agency's websites, and sometimes their names of their talent will have their resume next to it, or you can go to their website and see how they do it. And then you can get some inspirations and some different ideas. I went to a couple of them, and I take inspiration from different people, and then I make it my own.
Now that's a resume.
Pretty random.
Now, these are the talent agencies. These are the middlemen. These are the people who are actually going to try and find you work, find you ways to make money. Not going to promise that you're actually going to get the gig. You still have to audition for it, and more often than not, you're not going to get it. Now, DeSanti Talent, that's the talent agency that actually I'm signed up with. I finally got myself an agency. Now, I was lucky when I got signed up with them. When I sent out my demos to talent agencies to see if they signed me up, more often than not, it's going to be quite a few months before one of them even thinks of responding to you. Sometimes they'll just leave you in the wind and just leave no response. Sometimes they'll actually be courteous enough to send you a rejection letter.
And think of it like this. Rejection is a good thing because whenever you submit, they want you to be the one. Whenever they're listening to this, it's like, man, I hope this is the one. I want to go home. Please be the one every time they listen to a new demo. Think of it like that. It's an easier way to handle rejection is knowing that you are the one and you know you're good, but maybe they have enough talent that sound like you right now. Maybe they want you to submit in another 6 months, maybe because some other talent will move on or maybe stop, or maybe they're looking for something a little more fresh.
Now, I was super lucky when DeSanti got back to me 4 days after I sent out my demos. Do not count on that. That is never meant to happen. The planets were in perfect alignment when that happened.
Oh, by the way, the first top 4 talent agencies on this
DeSanti,
list,
Stewart, Grossman, Jack, and Lilies.
they accept email submissions. That's very important because if not, you gotta do, hard copy mail. You gotta go to the post office, money on your art cover demo, on your CDs, making everything look nice, printing. That takes a bit of extra money. But these are email submissions, which are quicker, they're faster, and you get a little more time to make everything look nice. Just make sure you read twice and then you click once. Very careful about typos.
Once you press that send button, yeah.
Yeah, and some of these agencies are exclusive. Some places are okay with you having multiple agents. Some of them are going to be like, no, we are an exclusive agency. You're going to just be represented by us.
But the cool thing about Chicago is that a bunch of these agencies are actually non-exclusive. You can be signed on to multiple agencies at a time. That's much more possible work coming your way, which is always a good thing. Hey, more ways of making money. Woo!
Yeah, but there's also a concern with that. They're going to give the bigger jobs to their exclusive talents first, or the ones that have been getting more money, so that is a bit of a risk. It's up to you to decide if you want more agents or if you just want to stick with one and build a relationship, because it is a business, but you need to have a relationship with an agent, just like you do with your clients, just like you do with anyone else that you work for. When you have a job, you have a relationship with your boss and your coworkers in a certain way. You talk to them, and it's very important to establish rapport.
Now, the thing about agencies is that's like I said, it's getting a middleman to get your name out there.
They have access to the jobs that you want.
However, what if you don't have an agency? Well, there are perfectly nice ways of yourself finding work. There are plenty of good websites to find possible good work, some of it actually paying. The first two, Voice Acting Alliance and Voice Acting Club. These are basically just very simple forum setups where people will post audition tryouts for their upcoming projects. Animation, radio dramas, fan dubs, abridged series. Abridged series have really boomed.
Yeah.
Haven't they? Now, and how it works is like they post the tryouts. Then voice actors who are part of those sites will just kind of be surfing around and they see the tryout. Then they see like the little script and the little character portrait posted, and it goes like, ooh, I want to audition for him. So that you record yourself, you send the email, And the good thing about these people is that these people are much more faithful when it comes to getting back to you. I mean, most of it's just a bunch of amateurs who are just doing stuff for fun. But the cool thing about doing nonprofit pro bono work just for the internet is that it is still good practice to showcase your vocal talent.
It won't gain a fan base.
It's a great way to gain a fan base. It's never going to be as high quality as doing like a legit commercial or an actual cartoon show that does like
The Hub and all that.
Like The Hub, My Little Pony, all those things. But it is a great way to showcase your talent and put stuff on your resume. If you can get stuff on your resume, people will see, oh, this guy can actually get some work. Maybe we'll sign him on for our next big project.
And your talent that's active. A lot of agents they're talented, and then all they do is rely on their agent for auditions. It's good. They love it when they sign on people. They're like, no, you're going to give me stuff, and that's really great, but I want to keep doing what I'm doing and seek out work.
When people see that you're active, they love you even more.
I mean, I got international work thanks to Voice Acting Alliance. That's how I got the Singapore role. And then both of those projects for Normal, which it's fantastic. I didn't think I would get to do international work so soon. That the internet's so great.
Now, then there's this website, SoundCloud. Who here knows SoundCloud?
Yeah.
How many of you make like your own dubstep tracks and put on SoundCloud?
Like John.
Like John, yeah. SoundCloud is a great place. It's pretty much just a deviant art of audio, and pretty much all that you can do is like post a little bio about yourself and post your voice demos. It's a great way of showcasing your work in another avenue for people to notice you. It's a great place. Not really a great way to like continuously update or something like that. It's not like a blog. Like I said, it's just a deviant art of sound. Oh, now this next website is my favorite. Newgrounds. Who here knows Newgrounds? Who doesn't know Newgrounds? There's the big question. Newgrounds is a great place for starting voice actors. Yes, there's a lot of like stupid, immature stuff there, but every once in a while you could find one gem. I mean, for example, animations by Kerbifer, the creator of the Super Frickin' Parody Rangers, and Tome. Who here knows an animation called Tome?
Man, you guys are gonna work out with your arms today. Just up and down.
Well, just her then. Newgrounds is a great place to get starting work, and they actually have a setup there. It's not a forum set. They used to have a forum setup when it comes to finding work, but now they have this new setup called the Collabinator. Yeah, that's its name. Simply put, instead of a forum setup, it's a directory setup. You just go to the area that you're interested in. For me, it's like the audio tab. I then post a little short blurb about myself, like, hey, my name is Evan Bremer, I'm a voice actor, here are my demos, here's my website, here's my email address. Post it. Done. And then work will come your way. I got 2 audio jobs in the same day I posted it. It is a great place to get some starting work. YouTube.
Now,
I'm not even going to ask who knows YouTube. Come on, we all know YouTube.
See, when I can't find any good auditions or anything that seems to catch my eye, I go finding it. And what I do is I look up animators. I've made some very good friends that are animators, and now I'm going to get some kind of animation on my own channel out someday, like in a couple months. And what I do is I got my demos on my channel, and I'll go find someone, and I see this a lot. I saw this on Voice Acting Alliance. Please don't do this where you're like, you know, I just thought I'd try it. Meh, I don't think I'm that good, but
there's no
whatever.
room for meh.
No room for meh. Be confident. Make statements. When you're like, I don't think I'm that good, but I still want... Then people are going to like, next, you need to believe that you are good. And there's a good way to say, if you're still feeling like, you know, I just don't want to say it like that, there are really good ways of saying, like, you know, I'm a novice talent. A novice is a fancy way of just saying that you're green and you're new, you're starting out. I'm a novice talent, but I think I got something. I want to give this a shot.
When you're contacting someone about finding work, you got to be Kamina from Gurren Lagann. You got to be full of masculinity and manliness. You got to be prepared to rip off your shirt for these people.
Oh, you.
Oh my.
What I say is here, I'm going to read to you what I send to almost every single person when I'm seeking out work. And I've gotten work back. That whole Nurse Joy role was because I went to them and said, hey, this is what I said, hello, I found your channel and just love your animation style.
Butter these people up.
Yeah. I wanted to inquire if you were looking for any additional voices for your wonderful animations. Attached is my animation demo for consideration. If you would like to see the many projects that I am a part of, I have a like page and a website. please see my channel for links. Thank you for your time, and have a great week. That's it. They don't get back to me? Fine. At least I get someone to check out my demo, and they know I exist. And maybe they'll come back to me. And then they did. About maybe a month or so later, they're like, hey, you know, I think I got something for you. Would you like to do it?
The message is nice, short, courteous, and it's to the point.
And I sound confident. I'm not dragging on and being like, and I'm not, you know, bragging and being like, yeah, I am this super amazing. Look at all the things I'm doing. A long list doesn't really mean that much. Let your demo speak. My demo speaks for itself.
Yeah. And then there's this website, Behind the Voice Actors. Now this...
yeah! Okay,
yeah.
someone knows it. It's a fairly new site.
It's awesome.
It's great.
I mean, to put it simply, it's a Facebook of voice actors.
Yeah.
Voice actors make their own profiles. They kind of post their resumes and what they do, what they like. It's Facebook.
They have a new feature called the casting call, which is another way of doing auditions, but what's unique about it is it's public. Everyone can hear it. You can make it private, but it's kind of a voting strategy. They have a little thing called a shout out, and other people can shout out saying, this audition was really good, and you can see then who got the project. And that's kind of cool. It's just a fun way of maybe seeing other actors. And they have a voice acting contest called Act Your Voice Out. They had 2 seasons so far. There's a 3rd season coming up. And all you got to do is submit something like a demo. Just no music or sound effects, just showcasing your voice. So keep an eye out for that. That's a really great website to test your chops and see where you're at.
And it's a great way to connect with people. And like famous established voice actors are on that site as well. I mean, for example...
We're going to get...
You can...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, for example, who here is fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh, boy.
The voice actress Grey Delisle, who voices Princess Azula, she has a huge online fan base. She updates Twitter. She has a Tumblr. Oh God, Tumblr. Tumblr. Anywho, and all I'm saying is like you can connect with all these famous people on Behind the Voice Actor. It's an amazing place. Now, the last one on the list, Voice Realm. Now, we talked about agencies and how they're kind of like the middleman. Voice Realm is like an impromptu agency for you, where everything's all kind of system automated. There's no real people. I mean, yes, there are people who work the site and such, but really it's just an automated system that kind of looks at your pros and cons and your profile, and it will periodically and automatically send you possible auditions to gigs, pretty much like how any agency does. If you can't find an agency, try out Voice Realm. It's a great one-stop place. Of course, when you submit your profile and your demo, someone has to actually review and approve if you actually sound good enough. Both Sheila and I are on Voice Realm. We were lucky enough to get approved.
Actually, I haven't been approved just yet. I just submitted, so I haven't gotten an official yet.
Wait, how long have you had your thing
I don't know.
submitted?
They sent an email saying everything's backed up, so it can take months. So it was like a week ago or something, so I'm not expecting anything right away. It's a great place. It doesn't take everybody. You have to get through this process. And it's different. And you're going to notice on this list, we didn't mention voices.com or voices123. And I'm going to repeat this. I'm not going to promote you to do something that I don't do myself. Every voice actor is mentioning it, and I've heard a lot about it, and there's some good things about it, but there's a payment involved in it. You have to invest money to get those auditions.
Over $100 for just a few months. No.
Or like a $200, $300 for like a year. Maybe if you book one spot, you can get the money back. We do have profiles on there. We do the free subscription for all of it, and there's some great things involved. I see a lot of older voice actors using it, and not as many people that are involved in talent agencies or people that have gotten a lot of work. It's great, but it's up to you to make that decision if you want to put that money forth to it. I'd rather put it towards another improv class or an acting class and improve myself as an actor, since I'm already well equipped to go out and get my own auditions.
Now there is one more site that I didn't put on my list because, well, the site kind of shames me. I will officially ask, who here knows Tumblr?
Cut it earlier.
Get him up there.
Oh God, Tumblr.
Oh, come on. You people who are not raising your hands, you're all lying. You got Tumblrs, I know it. Yeah, Tumblr, if you can wade through all of the Sherlock, the Avengers, the Doctor Who, if you can wade through the fandoms, what you actually have is a perfect setup to blog and showcase your work and actually start garnering a fan base. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with the whole Facebook like thing about how Facebook likes don't really reflect your worth. But even then, there is some slight value to them, because if people can see that you're actually networking, reaching out to a whole bunch of people, and you're actually putting out decent work, you become better presentable to these people, and they start to like you a bit more. It may not exactly change if you'll actually get work or not, but you'll kind of be better respected, in a sense. Yeah. Of course, if you're on Tumblr, I don't know how the heck you're getting respect in the first place. all the Sherlock John yaoi that's on there. You know what I'm talking about.
It's an indulgence.
Oh, shut up.
It's like chocolate. It's a pleasure.
Now, back to kind of what Sheila mentioned about how some amateur voice actors, especially who are just starting to eke out into business, are just posting their faces everywhere, and how that's a total no-no. One of the premier places to kind of network yourself is on Facebook, and that's creating a Facebook like page. Now, here's an example. This is my friend Margot LaRue. She's a cosplayer around the country. She makes her own outfits. I mean, look at those shoes.
Look at the shoes!
Look at those shoes, girl. Mm-hmm. Damn heels. Yeah. Anywho, and so she's a cosplayer, and as a cosplay model, she is showcasing herself, her body, her image. It's all about being seen. This is my like page. And yes, that is a pony version of myself. I had it custom made for me. His name is Radspark.
I gotta do it.
Shut up. But as you can see, you do not see me at all. Both the profile picture and my banner have been custom made for me. But the banner was made by the voice actress of Harley Quinn on Gotham High. She's very talented.
It's really interesting because it's not so good to show your picture of yourself, but an animated version of yourself seems to be okay. You can do, this is me as a cartoon, because you don't exactly know the little intricacies of what makes up my face.
The thing about it is that if someone is looking you up and they see your face for the first time, they're subconsciously going to already have an impression about you. And we want to avoid that. We want people to be as blank of a slate as possible. Now,
look at it like this, though. You know how when you go to a fancy Ivy League school and you want to be, part of their music program, it's a blind audition. You cannot be seen while you're playing your instrument because it will affect how they decide whether or not you're in or not. Just let it be about how they listen to you. Unless you're like Christina V or Tara Strong, once you're already well established, sure, you can show your face all you want. You're already getting a lot of work. But when you're starting out, less is more.
And now, on a little side note about not really showing yourself is that while this is my like page for voiceover, I do post all of my cosplay. I am an active cosplayer. Of course, that's just more of like a side hobby of mine, although I do take it very seriously. I mean, I go to all these cons. Mm-hmm. Now, however, what matters is that it's not the first thing you see. If someone's trying to look at your actual voiceover work and they come to your like page, they're not going to put in the effort to go through your effort. They're not going to put... I know, right? They're not going to put in the effort to go through all of your photos to see, let's see what this kid actually looks like. No, they're going to go right to your work. I have the little video gallery. I posted all of my voice demos there. And that's what people are going to be aiming towards.
I should say, if you are a multi-faced actor, if you do stage and on camera, that is great. You can put your headshot on your website, just not next to your demos. Make it like a click away. And they say on a website, it should take no more than 3 clicks, including the click to start the demo, because agents don't want to really look for you. You got to make it like the first thing that's on your website.
Also, I'd like to point out that this like page is a little dated. I really have like a bajillion quintillion. It's not true.
You don't. It's okay, Evan. I think you're talented.
Thank you. Also, comes the next thing. We were just talking about how to network yourself online. What about offline? That's where business cards come in, people. Oh, yeah. Business cards are... We actually have our business cards up here if you want to grab one when the panel's over and you're all kind of heading out. Feel free. We got tons of these. Now, like I said, business cards, straight to the point, showcasing work. I got my name, title, what I do, website name, email address, and my cell number, in case you want to like connect with me on the phone or something. I don't know why people do that. No one ever does. It just does everything. I've had these personal business cards. Man, I am so tongue-tied. I had these made on Vistaprint, which is one of the premier websites to make custom business cards, and they have excellent deals. This is the front side. This is my back side where I showcase my Twitter and my voiceover like page, which you just saw, me as a pony. And like I said, it does everything I needed to do. Very technical, very straightforward. Bam, 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 done.
And it's important that they have both sides with something, because maybe someone took their card and maybe they just threw it out on the table and they just see this white thing. They might get thrown out with the rest. Having just that little second where they're like, oh wait, oh yeah, sure, I'll go check out his Twitter.
It's all about making an impression. Now these are my business cards. These are Sheila's business cards. Sorry if they're a little hard to see and they kind of blend into the background. I'm sorry about that.
Purple and purple, but purple's a great color. Now how I got my business cards is, again, I got a tight budget. I'm a post-college student. What I do is I make friends with a graphic designer. When I was on my speech team, I have a good friend, and he hooked me up. All of these cards free, because I've got a buddy, and it helps
Really?
out.
Free?
Yeah, all of these for free. This isn't even the whole thing. I just brought a section of what I got. I got a lot of them. Now, true, they're a little thinner, but the price is right. And considering that I'm at a con, and most of this is probably going to end up in the garbage anyway, I can at least try and know that they're possibly going to have a good home.
Yeah.
Maybe come visit me. I don't know.
That's her front side. This is her back side of the card.
Now this is to talk about my art on here. Now there's some debate about how to do your demo cover, how to do like your brand. You need a brand. Sometimes people do like a gimmick where their last name is Bird and they'll have like a bird with it. Now colors and a thought. You need to put thought into what they're going to see before you put your demo in. It kind of shows about you. I put purples, greens, orange kind of representing like animation, and I got a little tagline where I'm going into a bigger pair of shoes because I do kid voices. I can be a boy, I can be a little girl, I can be an adult. And I'm showing that I want to fill in the big shoes of the people that I am inspired by, the people I want to be like. And it gives them that kind of image that I'm taking this seriously. So kind of think about what you want to be represented as. People have some really fun ways of portraying themselves, and it can get you remembered. A gimmick can help, and it's pretty. And you can, if you're not an artist and you need an artist, there's something called Talent Pool at Columbia College Chicago, and you can find a lot of great artists that are willing to negotiate and maybe get a good deal. Someone that's starting out but has a lot of talent and can help you get a good image for your website or for your business card. Yeah.
We're done!
We did it!
So yeah, like we said, if you ever want to connect with us, starting to get some little more detailed know-how on the industry, how to actually find work, blah, 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 you feel free to connect with us, message us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and stuff. We are very active, and we are more than happy to help people out. We also have business cards if you still want to like grab a few if you're ready to leave. And now comes the favorite part of the show. Now we can finally take questions.
Yeah. Woo.
You had your hand up first like before.
What software did you use to present your presentation today?
This is called Prezi. It's an online thing. There's no real software that you have to install. You just gotta make an account, and then you can start making stuff. And it's not
pretty.
It's so pretty, and it's not only good for making slide presentations, but they also recently just made a resume making system, and we touched upon resumes and how important those are.
Yeah. And the other question was, sorry.
Oh no, go right ahead.
Are you picky with your work?
Picky?
At this stage, we have no room to be picky. I mean, sometimes if you're feeling especially uncomfortable with what this person is offering you, then you can kind of get away with it. But if it doesn't really bother you, go for it, because anything that gets on your resume is good, unless you're voicing hentai.
Or fan dubs, because fan dubs are not something you want to put on your talent resume, because we all know about the whole, it's illegal, you can't do that. It's just for fun, for getting a fan base, for showing your work.
We are not bashing Little Karibo or Team 4-Star. Those guys are geniuses.
Amazing.
They are amazing, and I worship them. However, that doesn't make what they're doing right. The animation is technically being used, and animators are not being paid for it. That is not good. Again, I am not bashing them. They are great people. They're probably very nice.
However, if it's someone doing their own original animations, maybe with their own script, then that's okay. It's a parody. It's a satire. That's okay to do. And you can put that on your resume, because that's what I do.
Yes.
Now, yes, you.
day jobs, you have to do something while you're waiting for this. What kind of day jobs are friendly to allow you to go into the auditions and do what you have to do, but keep your jobs and you're not calling in sick saying I can't show up?
I work at Barnes & Noble. Honest to God, out of all the retail jobs I've ever had, they're good to you. This is how good they are to you. I got better discounts there. When they train you, they attach you to the hip of somebody for 2 weeks. You always have someone with you. I won't mention the other retail job that I have, clothing store. And you probably don't say it. Please, no, please don't say it 3 times. It'll come back. And they just threw me in children's by myself. By myself, I was crying. I was so sad. But Barnes & Noble, they have someone right next to you. I need a hug. Why'd you make me think about that? Anyway.
Acting.
I wore shoes, damn it. I know what's going on.
And they have a transfer policy. If you gotta maybe travel somewhere anywhere in the country, they will find you the nearest store and try to get you hours. They've been so good to me. Every store's a little different. I'm very grateful to be working at my day job, and if something last minute has come up, they've been very good about it. Now, every place is a little different. Everyone's got a little bit of a boss, but as far as retail goes, I pick Barnes & Noble.
You in the back with the hat.
First of all, great presentation.
Thank you.
Advantages, disadvantages to union work.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't quite hear you.
Advantages and disadvantages to union work. You gotta pay dues when you get to union work, so you gotta make sure you keep getting work, and sometimes it's hard. If you're a really great talent, you should be lucky to get 1 booking a month, maybe 2 months, and sometimes even fantastic, wonderful talents don't have that. So it can be a risk. It depends on the person. It depends on if your voice is popular at the time. Maybe Evan will be super popular this year and everyone wants him, but then next year it's all about your voice, and then they're going to be getting you. So that's why it's good to be diverse. But it is more important for acting, so every person's different. I'm kind of fond starting out as a non-union, and I think that's a great way to get started. And then
I'm also non-union.
Yeah.
But when you get into the union, is there a specific advantage to that?
Good paying jobs. Residuals. Residuals are, say, I got McDonald's. Say I booked a McDonald's commercial, and this one has a tagline. I get to do the tagline, and they use that tagline for months, and there's a certain period of time, but then they keep using it. I get another paycheck. That's nice. Ain't that nice?
Paycheck, the sexiest word out there.
I'm looking right at you.
Paycheck. Yes.
Did either of you participate when you were in high school or college in theater?
I was part of speech team at Oak Park River Forest High School. Worst time of my life. Because I had to sacrifice my Saturdays for these people. I still had fun though.
I got recruited from College of Lake County, CLC, for their speech team, and it was the best. That's how I found out I wanted to do voiceover, was they recruited me, and I got to travel all over the country for free. I got some food money, got some scholarship for books. Yeah, that's a great thing. Speech team. If you're at a college, check out your speech team. It's free acting training. You know how expensive acting classes are and improv classes are? This is free, and you get to meet wonderful
Free.
people.
That's another sexy word.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I have it. It's been immense. This is how I got here, was from speech team. And Oprah did speech team, and so did the voice for Bart Simpson. She did speech team. I remember looking up a list about that when I started out.
Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson, went to my high school.
Wow.
So did Betty White, I think. or I think she just grew up in my town.
Deadpool?
Deadpool, you had your hand raised?
Yes. I'm currently working on this epic fan fiction I'm going to put on Tumblr. Basically, all in GIFs, like little animations.
Oh, cool.
And I have like a crap load of storyboards, and I can't animate worth a shuckle. I'm just saying myself. Yeah, what would be the best way to find like someone to at least help me out with the animations, because they're not completely intricate, but
I think it's great that you got storyboards at least. It shows that you have a lot of thought in this, and this is something you're serious about. I've been very lucky since I've been doing, the Brony community is fantastic. And there's a lot of, yes, we are very amazing, and I've been lucky.
There's a couple extremists, just kind of ignore them.
I mean, with every fandom, every fandom's got one. Trekkies and Star Wars people, bronies are just another kind of fandom.
Trust me, I went to the panel
There's some great young, you need to seek them out. So what I would like to do is I follow animators. And even if I don't contact them, they'll follow animators, and then I see someone that I like, and then I'll contact them and say, you know, if I were, and maybe commission them, because they do deserve to be paid a little bit. If they're very young and fresh, maybe you can say, hey, how about we barter services? I've got a lot of connections, and I can promote your stuff if you're willing to animate 30 seconds for me, something like that. And 30 seconds takes a lot of work. Animation is a very hard thing to do, especially for one person. So if you can find a couple of them, say, hey, if you got some friends, maybe they would want to try to, you know, build your portfolio. I think we got something great here.
Again, great place to start is Newgrounds. There's a collabinator for animators.
Yeah. Evan.
Yeah.
Evan.
Now, you say 30 seconds takes a while. What if it's like really crappy?
What if it's, I would imagine that if you sought someone out, that they would be someone that you'd be happy to work with and that you would like what they're doing. So, you know, if you don't like someone's animation, I wouldn't contact them. Make sure to look at what they do have. If this is something, someone mentioned earlier about being picky. I will say I'm selective on when someone posts for animation roles. If they don't show me a sample of their work or what they've done, I can't trust that it's going to be good animation. I want to, if it's audio, that's just an audio drama, but if you're going to say this is an animation project, let me see a little bit of what you're doing, even if it's just a still. I need to see what kind of art you do, because your art's going to also represent my portfolio, and I want it to represent in a way that I think will showcase the best of me. Yes, you and you. Like you first, and then you.
Would you ever do split billions or anything?
Could you say that again, please?
Split billions or something like that?
Aqua Teen Hunger First.
But that's on purpose.
Where is my popsicle? I require a popsicle over 15 minutes. You obviously did not get the memo. Anywho.
It's so special.
You had your hand raised.
Yes.
Yeah. Do the folks with the professional gigs, the larger commercials or things like that, or animation studios, do they tend to look down upon free work, or should you kind of bury free work in the resume?
That's a fantastic question, because there's something called lowball, and I actually have something you guys can look up. There's a great VO blog called the Neither Voice, and he also has a Twitter. He does a lot of blogs about, there's a whole issue with voice acting right now where people lowball, and they're willing to do things for a lot cheaper, and that makes it hard for us to get paid the proper rate. Like, scale is minimum, bare minimum. Bare minimum in Chicago is like a couple $100, and people are willing to do it for less, and that's very hard. So in a way it is looked down, but only if you're just straight up accepting it. Pro bono happens, especially when you're starting out. At colleges, I have my own honor code I kind of follow. If you are a college student, but a great animator, and you just need some great voices for that final project, I'm willing to do pro bono if I really like your work and you're committed and you're talented. That's okay. I think that's fine. But if you're someone that clearly has a business and you're just, you know, being a penny pincher, I will say no to a project if they're gonna try to, you know, shell me out of what I know I'm worth. You know what you're worth, and keep to your rate. And that's why I like the idea of an agent, because they do the negotiating for you. You gotta be your own agent. Besides being business, I'm my own agent right now. I gotta do this all myself, and it can be very scary. And in the end, I would rather, you know, say no to the project if it's gonna be 5,000 words for $20, and they're gonna have me go back to record more lines. And I would like to think that I go beyond my auditions. I edit out my auditions before I send them in, and I do ABCs, which is I do the same line 3 times in a row for different variations, so they have plenty to work with, so I don't have to resend them.
Deadpool again.
Yeah, how do you make, like you were referring to the Brony community and everything, yeah. They sell commissions and stuff, correct?
Yeah, vectors and stuff.
Yeah, how do you, like...
Maybe find them?
No, how do you, like, produce this, like, and make some substantial cash flow without being sued by Hasbro?
That's the thing. For the My Little Portal series, I don't make any money for it. That is strictly because we love it. A lot of it is for free. It's more about promotion. It's most about getting my name out there and people knowing who I am, and then supporting the projects that do pay. And it really is a labor of love. I'm in something called, it's going to be the Flim and Flam Make It Big project. I have small roles, and I don't care. Just to have a little role in a great project is a good opportunity. I can promote it, and then your name will get out, and then the work will come to you.
And then that's okay. I think I'm there.
Okay.
Have I heard you guys done like audiobooks, or is that different sort of thing?
No, it's not a completely separate industry.
I couldn't quite hear that. What was it? Something about
What was your question again?
Have you guys done audiobooks?
Oh, audiobooks? No. Kind of. Nothing that has been posted online. I did hear recently about a website. It's escaping me right now. And it's something like afx.com. This is a new place where you can post just for narrations. So that is a booming business, and I definitely have had. I've dabbled. But I'm focusing more on commercial and animation because I'm trying to get within the Chicago industry. Like, you do that first, and then I would concentrate on narration. But there are classes for it, and there are classes for video games. In fact, I remember hearing about how video games should be its own demo. It shouldn't even just be animation, because video games is a very different kind of acting.
I voice Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket has a manga.
Yeah. Actually, let's take the person who has her hand raised right back there. Yeah, you.
Okay, 3 weeks back, I've been trying to get auditions for an English fan dub. I've been contacting them, and a while back, I said, if you guys have a contract, contact me, or I'll contact them. They haven't got back to me since.
Okay, the two different things then I would do. One is whenever I would update someone, I would say, hey, I'm just checking in about this audition I did. Please let me know. I say that a lot. Please let me know, which means it kind of gives them the stuff they have to do back. Or you ask a simple question that requires a yes or no answer, because then you'll know that they'll maybe get back to you. And if they don't, leave it behind. A lot of auditions, I'll leave it, and then what helps me is as long as I feel like I'm moving forward and progressing, it's just go to the next audition, go to the next thing. If they don't respond after that, then maybe they're not worth working with.
Of course, then again, there's always that once in a blue moon time when you do all these auditions thinking they're all leaving you behind, but then they all get back to you at the same time, and you're just piled on with work, and then you're like, oh my god.
Evan really helped me out here because my mic got sick last week, and I'm still learning how to do everything, and I used his mic and sent in some of my auditions, so good to make friends with other voice actors that live in the area and can help you out.
Now, the lady in the gray hoodie had her hand up for a while.
I do both animation, and I often do, like, narrating voiceover stuff for my own work. Do you think it would help to, just put the animation in there? Because I kind of, work in tandem with myself on those kind of things.
Again, this touches on the whole voice actors have their hand in many other talents. I'm starting to get into audio engineering. If you're a voice actor who can do her own animation, that is another huge plus.
That's amazing. I'm jealous. I would love to be able to do my own animation. Do you think my YouTube channel would be filled with animations of me doing stuff? Just doing my cat voices. Just a clip of doing my cat voices. I do it.
Isn't there enough cats on YouTube?
No!
No, never enough. Never enough.
You again.
Yes.
You said Chicago is a great place for commercial work.
Everyone, please be quiet. He's got a question.
You said Chicago is a great place for commercial work, but not so much animation. Where would be other parts of the country where animation would be more prevalent?
Out west, California, Nevada, New York.
Texas.
Pretty much any place that's not Chicago. Texas has Funimation in it. That's that's like the ultimate goal for any weeaboo voice actor to voice an anime. Exactly. But yeah, pretty much everything is out west in LA. That's where everything. Literally everything happens. That's where Anime Expo is happening right now, and that's
they have the Bang Zoom open auditions. Honestly, if we weren't here, we'd be there. 'Cause I feel like here's a good way to showcase how to feel confident. Bang Zoom, I feel like I got a shot. I'm a voice actor. I feel like I got something to offer. Let me show you what I can do. That's the attitude you gotta have. Is something where you're not being like, oh yeah. Thank you. You're welcome that I've arrived. No. Or like, I think I have something really. I don't think I'm that really good, but but please listen. Like, no, just I think I'm good. Hear me out. Listen to what I can do. And man, we would so be there if we
We
were
would
here.
so
But
be there.
we like Chicago, so we're here to tell you what we know. Yeah, woo!
Actually, the girl in the red bow.
Yes.
Yes, you.
I actually have 2 questions.
Sure.
Yes.
I am hoping to make an animated trailer for a graphic novel, and
Ooh.
Cool.
And I'm probably going to need a few voices for that, but I don't know if I'm ever going to actually end up doing it. When should I do it?
When you feel very confident that that you're going to the next stage of the project, you just can't wait to move to the next part. Or if you can mention like, hey, this is a project I really want to do. I would like some voice actors. Animation, we understand it takes a lot of time. We really do. In fact, just a fun little thing I was doing. It's called The Trotting Dead. It's a My Little Pony
Walking Dead
motion.
crossover.
Yeah, Walking Dead. Yeah, I'm doing all the zombies in the background, and it's been months since I've heard a last update about it. But just recently, this was like 4-6 months, we finally got an update, and that's great. And I was like, you know what, man, I'm glad that moved forward. It's that we'll understand and say, you know what, I want this to happen, and we do get it. We just make sure that you make them understand that this is a project that might take some time. It's up to you if you want to send those auditions.
Yes, you have another question.
I have an interest in voice acting, but I legitimately have not done any. I did one line in a Sims 2 little animated movie on YouTube. I've never taken any acting classes, and if I want to do any form of audition, I literally have no references to list. How do I go about doing that?
Well, like we said, there are plenty good places to get started. Just like we said, sometimes you just don't. Sometimes if you don't have a resume, sometimes a demo is what will help you out.
But you should not just go straight into a demo. You got to feel ready. So for someone at your particular place, are you in college?
I'm probably going to start next week.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Well, look
okay.
into your colleges. Look if they got a speech team. Free training. You get to meet a lot of people, and it'll boost your confidence. It's just a great thing. Do speech team. That's a free way to do it. Or go to Second City, start an acting class. The I.O. is really great, especially if you want to get serious into improv and learn how to just make things on the fly. It's a little bit of an investment, but to me, it was life enriching. I put it on just for part-time jobs. I got my job at Barnes & Noble, mentioning that I could do improv.
Talk to a possible radio major that's at your college. See if they would be happy to lend you a couple scripts for you to train with. Oh my God!
I can see. No one I can't.
Oh shoot!
Up there.
What the heck?
Wow, shrank.
Catbug's trying to get in the way.
You want attention?
Oh God! What? There we go. Okay.
We have business cards.
We have business. You again.
By the way, what time is it?
It is 2:21. We still got like 10 minutes. Oh, okay. You first then.
Yeah, just a general question for improv. You stated that that's a good start as far as getting.
Oh yeah.
Where or out here in Chicago, what are your preferences?
Each place is a little different. Oh my.
Was that your answer?
Well,
Second. Hands down.
Write that down.
Hands down, the Second City. This is where all of the famous stars on Saturday Night Live started at.
I mean, there's Comedy Sports too. Comedy Sports is a really great place. It really depends on what kind of improv you're looking to. If you're serious, if you want to really learn like the Herald and all that great stuff, go to I.O. That's where I'm starting right now. That's doing long form. If you like doing games, things like Whose Line Is It Anyway, Second City is a great place to start out at. That's what I did, and it's very encouraging, and there's some great teachers there. So I'd say if you're very brand new and you're very fresh, go to Second City. But if you're someone like, you know what, I want to learn long form, I want to stay up on stage a long time, just make stuff up as I go. Go to I.O. There's also The Annoyance. They do some great work too. Comedy Sports is great. I recommend any of those places. It's really what are you specifically looking to do?
Any more questions? Yes, you again.
It was basically two questions. One was about creative financing. If somebody doesn't have the money to pay you up front, but they were saying, okay, we're expecting that this project may blow up, we'll offer you a percentage. Have you ever done anything like that? Or
That's kind of a hit and miss. I've actually been part of a project like that before, a long time ago. It didn't quite fall through, though I wasn't really kind of expecting it to, honestly. But It's all kind of based on what you're feeling at the time. I mean, if you've already have like enough funds to like do stuff on your own, and you're kind of in a charitable mood, then yeah, go for it. If you want to lend a hand to these people, then more power to you. If you need money, I wouldn't risk it, but again, it's all on your confidence level.
I recommend going back to that blog I mentioned earlier, Neither Voice. He has so many different articles about like how to work with financing and negotiating, and you can do an entire panel on how to negotiate your rate. That thing is like an hour panel, easy. It's so tough. So I would highly recommend checking that guy out. Maybe just a minute more and then maybe wrap up to the other panel.
Yeah, of course. Okay, 2 more questions. You again.
Since you'll be starting college, is there any kind of course that you took off the major that you felt really helped with voice acting?
Radio classes, because I was not a radio major. There's radio production, there's demo production. It depends on the college. Sometimes they won't offer voiceover, but Columbia College has voice acting 1, where we met Deb Doutzer, and she's super awesome. And then there's voice acting for video games, for animations, dialects. If you were to do something like, sometimes they'll do things with Second City if it's in the city itself. I'm not sure where you're going to college, but look into maybe taking a theater class. An acting class is always great. Or something with dialects. I want to get into more dialect stuff and do like a Scottish accent.
That's great. Okay, I think we have time for one more question.
That gentleman right there.
You.
You know, you got a networking page up there. Why don't you use LinkedIn? It's Facebook.
Oh, I do.
Professional network.
I totally use LinkedIn. LinkedIn's awesome. It's like for any job at all, they don't really even look at your resume anymore. They go look at your online presence. They go to my LinkedIn, and my LinkedIn is flushed. I know we didn't mention it up there just because some people use it, some people don't, but I do, and we both do. I made him do it.
I used to have a LinkedIn. It hasn't been updated in a while. I kind of forgot about it.
You just think of it as your resume publicly, and you just leave it, update it once in a while. I think it is a great format to, at least for people to, another way for people to find you. Just one more way for them to find you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all the time we got. Thank you all so much for coming to our panel. Oh wait, before you go, no, don't look so bored. I want to get an Instagram of all of you.
Yeah, I know like a lot of people